Today, we're going to be doing something really interesting. We're actually going to be talking about the state of Magic while cracking some packs. So, big shout out to the Borzak Gaming in Elgin. We were able to go get top 8 in the season standings in Standard, Pioneer, and Modern. And that's really cool because, there's a lot of really good players at the store, and, it's really hard to play Magic every week, but we were able to get there. We weren't able to get top 4. These are my previous tokens. Besides this one, this is a RCQ token. But Borzat does some really cool stuff. They give you cool promos, and they do their own tokens and their own pins if you place in the season rankings. I got my pins over here on the side. Let me see if I can just finagle this. All these pins over here. And you can just see my little script down there. Yeah, so today we're going to be doing something really interesting. We're going to be talking about the state of Magic, but opening some packs at the same time. So yeah, let's just start it off. I gotta say that Limited right now just feels absolutely phenomenal. I think that Limited is probably the best that it's been in a long time. Tarkir Limited was amazing back in the day, and I feel like now with the way that Wizards is currently prioritizing Standard, the limited experience is just phenomenal. Whether you want to play 5 colors, any of the wedges, or if you're trying to do some super spicy cool thing, I think limited is in a great spot where you can do anything that you want, and it's the slowest format right now. Everything else, I had to drink some water. Everything else is pretty fast, and you're going to die super quickly in almost every other format in Magic right now. The hardest part is getting to those late turns, and Limited right now is the only format really where you can be slow and grindy and take your time with your turns, kind of like Commander. But yeah, let's get into these cards. I don't think that there's any commons and uncommons that are worth anything. That's just because the set is so popular that people are cracking it like wildfire, and yeah, so we're just gonna kind of fly through these commons and uncommons. Go a little slower for the first one, but in the future we're gonna fly. Just going to talk about Magic in general. The Mythic. This used to be a Mythic in 2019. So I think that overall, Limited is actually one of the best formats you can be playing right now. I think that you probably want to be playing, either a niche deck that you don't care about losing with. Sometimes you want to play your silly, crazy thing. Oh, beautiful Naga Fleshcrafter there. Sometimes you want to play your crazy thing just because you want to. And you can get a lot of equity from just playing bad cards, but if you're having fun, that's all that really matters, right? And so I think that Limited is the format where you can play all your bad cards, and you can just have a lot of fun. You can do whatever you want, and it really doesn't matter as long as you're enjoying what you're doing. And so Limited is probably the best format, honestly, right now, if you like to have slow, grindy games. Every other format that we're going to talk about on this list is going to be super fast. The games are going to end really quickly, and I feel like that kind of attributes itself to the frustration in Magic right now. I feel like people want to be playing slow, grindy games. They don't want to have to try and live to turn 4, right? You shouldn't have to try to survive through the early turns always, right? Like I play goblins, right? Sometimes we kill people early, sometimes we don't. My deck's super fragile, but the way that the red decks are built currently, the way that they produce them, the way that they make cards, it's really hard to get to those late games when you're playing against mice, when you're playing against a deck like Breach that just got banned. There's so many things in Standard specifically that can kill you so fast. The Esper deck is like a burn deck. It goes, oh, we got the Goblin. I love this card. This card into Painter's Studio, Deface Gallery on turn 2, is 4 damage. If you're on the play, it's crazy. No worries. Thank you for dropping in. Appreciate you being here. But Standard is one of the best places to be. Limited is one of the best places to be. Standard is great if you enjoy going fast. If you don't like going fast, Standard is a pretty tough sell right now. You're going to be pretty frustrated. And so I think a lot of the new cards that came out are attributing to the slowing down of the format. Like, the dragon decks are all going to be these super big engines that attribute themselves to getting to the late game and trying really hard to like not die super fast. And so I think that, we might not have the pieces that we need for those late game decks to be good right now, but in the future, we might have cards that allow the format to slow down, that allow us to get to this place where we can kind of just chill out, and we don't have to worry about dying on turn 3 to a Manifold Mouse and and a Heartfire here with a Monstrous Rage. But for right now, that's our reality, and I think that Standard is a good format if you enjoy going fast. I think Standard actually might be the fastest format right now, which is insane because relative to the power level of the format, the mono red deck that's in that format is just so powerful, and it's kind of ridiculous actually. So Standard's a fast format. It's a fun format, but if you don't like, the possibility of losing with non-interactive games, might not be the format for you right now. Also, are dragons real? Would you play dragons in Standard right now, or would it just be something that you would kind of like laugh at yourself for doing? Or are you just going to be frustrated when you cast your big do nothing ramp spell and your opponent kills you with a Manifold Mouse? So let me know in the comments down below what you think. Now we're going to move on to Pioneer. I think Pioneer is probably the best format for dragons. I think that the best deck in Pioneer right now is the red-black mid-range deck. And I think that the red-black mid-range deck in Pioneer pretty easily just becomes Grixis Dragons. If we think back to like original Tarkir era Standard, there was like a lot of really cool 3-color dragon decks that were in the format. And I think that a lot of them are probably like viable in Pioneer, especially because we have those old Tarkir cards, and now we have these new Tarkir cards. So I think Pioneer might be like the format where dragons are best positioned. Standard, it might be a meme, but in Pioneer, it seems like something that would be really cool to build around, and I could definitely see some people breaking it. It could be something that people don't expect, and then somebody spikes a tournament with it, and then all these red-black demon decks just pivot to becoming dragon decks, So I think that that's probably like what's going to happen for the Pioneer format. Besides that, I'm really excited to see if the format speeds up at all. Recently, there's been a lot of success with the mice deck in Pioneer, which is kind of crazy to think about. Take the token out. Because it's a standard deck that's amazing, right? Like mice is absolutely insane in Standard. However, in the older formats, a lot of the removal is so good. You would think that a deck that relies completely on creatures to attack would be like not favored, it would struggle. But in reality, the mice deck in Pioneer is actually like insane. And so we're watching kind of every format speed up simultaneously because people want to play better cards, and the better cards are just faster. And it used to be that red would struggle, but now, Wizards is really like power crept. Like even my goblins have gotten insanely strong recently. And that's just due to Wizards trying to juice the formats and trying to get people to get back into, oh, I love this card. Trying to get people back into the game because they want them to play. They want them to, oh, damn. They want them to play more. They want to see people do things that are weird and wacky because that's what's good for the game. When people are willing to experiment, that's how we grow. Moving on to Modern. Modern's really crazy right now, pretty diverse. I think that overall, the banning of Breach is really good, but Eldrazi didn't like lose anything. So we're kind of in the position where we saw this and this. So we're gonna pull these. We're kind of in the position where we're watching like the best card in Modern be a colorless Stifle and Counterspell, which is like really telling of like where the format is. If Consign's the most played card in all the decks, if decks are just like splashing blue strictly to play for Consign, what does that say about how like the Eldrazi deck is in the meta, right? Like how oppressive is it so that your Boros player becomes Jeskai just to play Consign because they can't otherwise beat they otherwise can't beat it. So Really interesting in Modern that they banned Breach and the rest of the top decks did not change. Okay, Thunder of Unity and an Afenza double rare pack. Crazy. We got a good Mardu pool here if we're playing Sealed. But yeah, so I think that overall, Modern is super diverse. You kind of need to be doing something niche, and you need to be teched to beat the best decks. But I would also like to point out the best 3 decks in Modern right now, Eldrazi, Boros, and I would say Black White Blink is the third best one, are all MH3 decks. Those are all decks that are like based in the MH sets, and they just like power level wise beat out everything else in that power level. I do believe, though, this is my call right now, that Final Fantasy will be MH4 and it will rotate Modern and Eternal formats in general. I think that the Final Fantasy cards are going to be purposely pushed so that people have to buy the set, and then, it's like they just naturally drive sales, and then the best way for them to do that is to print some very busted things that rotate the format. So, Legacy, real quick, high level. Legacy, I think overall, is in a really good spot. They banned the troll so that the super fast decks don't go so super fast anymore. Being able to just have a 1-land hand with Force of Will, Daze. So this is why the troll was banned. Swamp, Troll, Reanimate. Force of Will, Daze. That's a 7 you keep. It's got 1 land, but it's actually got 2 lands. And you don't need the Entomb because the thing that grabs your second land also is the thing you can reanimate and then protect to kill them. So actually insane. So they banned Troll, and I feel like since they banned Troll, the biggest change that I've seen is a resurgence in combo decks. Like turn 1, turn 2 combo decks are back in Legacy. If you enjoy going fast, Legacy might be your format. I will also say that turn 1 kills are some of like the most frustrating things that you can experience playing Magic, and if you're playing Legacy, that's like bread and butter. So I play a turn 1 Lackey. I have no interaction. If my opponent turn 1 kills me, that they're playing a better deck. They deserve to kill me. Finally, I will say in Legacy, the big menace right now is Nadu. Just like it was in Modern, just like it was in Commander. I think that Nadu is kind of insane, and the fact that you get to play Force of Will and it draws you a billion cards, like the card just overall just does so much work. And I think that, it's one of those things that eventually will get banned or they'll get cards out of it banned. But until Wizards wants to like see changes like that, Mysterized Village, beautiful full art Mysterized Village here, and then a foil Severance Priest and a foil Full Art Swamp. So this pack was cracked. This pack was actually cracked, and it was thank you, Time Warp Lady. Time Warp Lady gave us the good cards at the end. But yeah, I think Legacy's in a really cool spot. They obviously care about it. They banned the cards that people who wouldn't play Legacy wouldn't know to ban, which is kind of telling because their bans for Legacy are strong, but their bans for Modern and like the newer formats are kind of weak. So maybe they just only play Legacy and because they have all those cards, and they don't really play Standard or Pioneer as much as they talk about. But anyways, thank you so much for watching, and this was my State of Magic breakdown with some pack openings. So if you enjoy Goblins content, if you enjoy me rambling in general, hit that like and subscribe. It's the easiest way to support the channel, and it's free. Thank you all so much for dropping in. It means, oh, really? Hey, that means a lot. Thank you so much. All right, I got to get ready for work, and till next time, peace. I can never understand, how do I end this thing?